Hi guys, welcome back to another book review. Today we're going to talk about The Mist Thief by L.J. Andrews. Yes, you have seen that I did get accepted into her street team. I am not hyping this book up because of that. I have been hyping her up for a while. Anybody who knows me personally, like I even talk about her on my personal Facebook. Like I have a book Facebook and I have personal Facebook, and anybody who knows me, like I really hype her up and I recommend her a lot in like the readers groups I'm in, because I am in a lot of readers group and very active in them on my personal Facebook. But I'm not so much, like my book Facebook is out there just to kind of have a platform, but I'm really active when I talk in those like groups on my personal Facebook. I hate to say that, but that it is what it is. That's why I'm most active is on my personal Facebook in these books, and that is what I usually sign up for my street teams and everything else on for these authors. So, but I'm not hyping it up because of that. I'm just going to give you a fair warning. I have been following her since the Broken Kingdom series. If anybody knows it, you got to read it if you haven't. It is a 9-book series. Yes, that is a big commitment, but I'm telling you, it will not be a waste of your time. It is an amazing series. If you are willing to take on ACOTAR and that whole universe, Omegaverse, take on the Broken Kingdoms, because just take on. I actually like the Broken Kingdoms better than ACOTAR. I know. Everybody's going to get upset with me when I say that, but I do. It is what it is. So that is what I was supposed to say. It's better than those, and I know a lot of people are going to disagree with that, but it's better than those. And this one is going to be a spinoff of the Broken Kingdom, so you could read this book as a standalone. The spinoff does start with the Ever King and the Ever Queen, and I know a lot of people have read those. They have read the Ever King and the Ever Queen. This one is kind of following after that. Like I said, it could be read as a standalone. I would not suggest it as a standalone, just my personal opinion, because there's a lot. You need the background of at least the Ever King and the Ever Queen. You really need that, especially the Ever Queen, because it really goes into who she is. I don't know. I'm just going to say you need both of them. If you're really, you need both of them. And if you have read those two, jump into this one, because it really picks up where those ones left off. And if you loved them, you loved them. So let's talk about this one. This one is a fantasy romance. There is spice. I would not classify this one as necessarily spicy. Or not spicy, smutty. I would classify this one as spicy, not smutty. There's plenty of spice to keep you interested, but there's not so much spice that that's all there is. She really does not lose sight of her plot. Her spice is kind of like a sprinkle on the topping on her work. Like it's just like a little cherry on top. It's not what carries her stories. Her stories are carried honestly by her plot and just the stories themselves. It's just what she does. She's really good, and that's what carries her stories. I know not a lot of authors can do with that, so I'm going to give you a quick overview on this one. It has to do with the main character. He's doing an arranged marriage to keep his kingdom safe, and to keep his family safe, and keep his friends safe, and in the long run to keep her safe. And so he kind of goes through this arranged marriage. They're enemies. It's going to be an enemies to lovers, and there's going to be a villain. He's got to keep her away from the villain. That's why I say you got to read Ever Queen and Ever King, because that villain is introduced in those, and I feel like if you don't read those, you won't know how bad the villain truly is. And he is a jerk who is he's a jerk. But anyways, and he's into all kinds of trouble. He caused so much trouble in those books. So yeah, you just got to read those two before you read this one to really understand the villain. So let's go from there. It does move at a quick pace. I feel like her books move at a quicker pace, especially because they don't start slow. I know a lot of fantasy, and we all talk about this, a lot of fantasy romances tend to start very slow, and then they pick up. I don't know what she does. I don't know how she does it, but her books do not start slow. She starts from the get-go with something interesting and something happening. And it doesn't necessarily have to be something huge happening, but there is something that is very vital and important to the story happening from the very beginning. How she manages that, I don't know. I don't know. It's magic. She does it, because I read a lot. We know my favorite genre is fantasy romance, and we know a lot of them start out slow because they focus so much on the world building. Her beautiful work, she just jumps right off and can dive in, and she builds that world more and more as she goes. And I think part of it is because it is an established kingdom. It is an established series, like I said, but that's why you're going to get so much more if you read the Broken Kingdoms. And then go into the spin-off of the Ever King and Queen. But again, like I said, if you're not ready to commit to that yet, that's okay. But at least read the Ever Queen and the Ever King. I want to say this too, that she's a great author. I have been following her for a very long time. because I love the Broken Kingdoms. I love it. I'm just going to say this. If anybody knows me, I love it. So I'm rambling. This video is getting really long. Point is, this is really good. It moves at a quick pace. You got enough spice to keep you interested and keep you kind of, but yet not enough to make it smutty and feel like you're ruining the story. The book moves at a steady, like really quick pace. There's stuff happening, but it's not overwhelming happening. It's just, I don't know, if you've read her books, you'll understand. It's just the way she goes. They are fast paced, but yet they're not overwhelming. I don't know how to explain it. You just got to read her books. Anyway, so if that sounds like something you're interested in and you really like fantasy, and this one is more Vikings, the Ever Queen and the Ever King were kind of Vikings and pirates. And this one kind of, due to the male main character of who he is, he's a little more focused. This one's back to more of the Viking feel and stuff. And so I think you would really enjoy this one. So like I said, if this sounds like something you're interested in, then I definitely would check this one out, because I adore this author. This book just added another great book to a series I already adore. And so I loved it, and I think you might too.